let's jump right into what we have. Okay, and if you know anyone that is going to benefit from the conversation that we're going to be having today, please feel free to share this link with them. Anybody, your friend, your family member, even your worst enemy, anyone that you think that needs clarity with regards to knowing the career path they need to get into, make sure that you share this link with them before we jump right into what we have. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it. So who are we that's organizing this amazing conversation today? So we are Analytics. Okay, we are Analytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that is helping people of the Black community to break into several career paths. Okay, we've been doing this for more than 5 years now, and we'll help close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing several jobs in UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and of course, Asia. And there are specific programs that we specialize in, which includes data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, cybersecurity, product design, DevOps engineering, agile project management, of course, HR and financial analytics. And I'm going to tell us the reason why these courses are just the specific ones that we are offering. All right. In the course of this conversation, I'm going to definitely touch base with that. And how have we been able to help a lot of people to break into this career path? So we utilize, okay, I think my screen just went off. I think someone is trying to share their screen as well. Hi, Lydia, are you there? Please, you turned off my sharing ability, so I'm not able to share my screen anymore. Hi, Lydia, are you there? Okay, fantastic. I should be able to share now. Okay, so as I was saying, how are we able to help a lot of people to break into these different career paths? So what we do is simple. We bring in experts that are already existing in the field and bring them back to our classroom to teach using real life project model. Okay, so they come back to the classroom teaching with real life project model. This is how we've been able to help a lot of people move from our career paths, move from our classroom rather, into landing several jobs out there. Okay, this is how we help a lot of people to move from our career path into landing several jobs out there. So I'm going to continue right now to walk us through what we are going to be doing for today. But before that, who exactly am I that's speaking to you today? Who exactly am I that I've been speaking to you for the last couple of minutes? So first, my name is Chukwuemeka Ikpa, and I am the CEO of Analytics. But before I got into this position of being the CEO of Analytics, I've been able to walk across several career paths. I've been able to walk through different aspects of the tech ecosystem. I started my career path in the GRC, governance, risk, and compliance in the banking sector before I moved to become a data analyst in the fintech space and also working as the head of control in the fintech industry, as well as a business growth consultant. But personally, right now, I work as a talent development consultant in Africa and also Europe. Okay, so in the course of my sojourn in life, I've worked in financial service sector, I've worked in the capital markets, I've worked in hospitality, I've worked also in the educational technology space. And in my capacity as the CEO of Analytics, I've helped close to 2,000 people to move from our classroom into landing their first job. Okay, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ikpa, or Twitter at Emeka_Heist, or Instagram at Ikpa_Chooks. And we're going to personalize this conversation and continue every single discussion that you want us to be able to have. I hope we are all ready for us to jump into this conversation. Are we pumped? If you are ready for us to jump right into it, please drop any reaction or comment so that I'll be sure that there are people that are actually listening to me. Okay, thank you, Google. If you've been to any of my session, I love a very interactive class. I love a very interactive class. I love a conversation where everyone is also being carried along. So please bear with me because I'm going to be calling us a lot today to be able to, speak at any point in time. All right, so there are a couple of things that we are going to be taking out from this conversation today. All right, there are a couple of things that we are going to be taking out from this conversation today by the time that we are done. And number one of them is you are going to learn how you can be able to leverage your initial years of experience. Okay, we are going to be learning how we can be able to leverage our initial years of experience. One major misconception that people have is thinking that, oh, once I leave my current location, once I leave South Africa to travel, or once I leave Ghana, or once I leave Nigeria to travel, my initial years of experience is gone. No, it is not gone. There are still ways for you to be able to leverage your initial years of experience. So we are going to be talking about all those today and walk us through every single thing that we need to do. So how do you leverage your initial years of experience? And then also, what pathway do you have to take for you to be able to land job? What pathway can you be able to take for you to be able to land job? So some people struggle to land job because we don't even know the pathway that we are going to take. All right? We don't even know the pathway that we are going to take. Today, DevOps will come out to jump in and learn. Products will come out to jump in and learn. Cybersecurity will come out to jump in and learn. So all these different things that we are jumping to learn, is it the right career path for you? Okay, is it the best place? Is it where the world is tilting towards? Okay, so these are things that we're going to open your eyes to and make sure that you understand all these things. And lastly, we're also going to walk you through how you can also be able to package yourself. We are going to walk you through how you can also be able to package yourself. So packaging is very, very crucial. It is very, very ideal. And it is important that anyone that wants to be able to land job also learns how they can actually be able to package themselves. So we're going to jump right into what we have for today. But first, I want all of us to believe that it is possible. I want all of us to believe that it is possible, okay? I want every single person that is here to know that it is possible for us to be able to transition from where we are right now into breaking into the tech industry. I always use my story as an example. When I started my journey, I studied civil engineering. Today, I am the CEO of a tech company. My founder studied industrial chemistry. My co-founder studied economics. But today, we all run a tech business. So this is to tell you that if we were able to make all this switch, same thing can also be applicable to you. Same thing can also be applicable to you. But first thing you need to understand is have that mindset that it is possible. All right, so this year is about to be over. We're already in the last quarter of the year. Before you know it, we're in 2025. We're in 2026 rather. So how can you be able to also position yourself to leverage all the things that can come out in 2026 and be able to get into it? So if you are not able to position yourself well right now, that means those opportunities that will come up, you may even struggle to land them. Okay, so first thing I want every single person here to believe in is that it is possible for you to make that same switch. All right, once you don't believe that it is possible, then there's already a misalignment between you being able to get there. It is possible even before 2026. I like that, Josiah. I like that comment. I like that. It is possible even before 2026. That is the way to go. I love that. I really love that. Okay, so I said you're not a co-host. All right. So if you believe that it is possible for you to actually, become this before 2026, we are going to dissect how we can also be able to make all those things. All right. We are going to walk you through how you can actually be able to make it happen. Now, first thing I want to walk us through is how do you leverage your initial years of experience in the new place that you are currently getting into. All right. So let's assume that before now, you used to work as a receptionist in Nigeria, or you used to work as a customer service personnel, or you used to work as in any capacity that you've worked before now. How can you actually use that same experience to break into the tech sector? All right. So before I use the example of what I have on my screen, I want to walk us through the story of someone that we also have here. I think the guy joined from Cameroon, Mogni or something. He used to be a teacher, right? He used to be a teacher in Cameroon. And when he came, he found a career path that he used to transition to now become a pathology data analyst. Now, let's look at how you can be able to leverage your initial years of experience. I love using that example of teacher. So let's assume that this person here right now is Mr. A. All right, let's say that Mr. A is right here. All right, this is Mr. A. and Mr. A is a teacher. So by virtue of Mr. A being a teacher, remember, he doesn't have any tech skill. He doesn't have any tech understanding, but he wants to break into the career path. He wants to be able to land a tech job. What exactly does Mr. A need to do? So first thing he needs to do is to look at the things that he's been doing before now. So by virtue of Mr. A being a teacher, he's had instances where he interacted with several layers of individual. First is he interacted with the students. All right, and after the students, he interacted with the parents and also interacted with the management of the institute. So are we still following? So Mr. A, that is a teacher, by virtue of teaching, has interacted with 3 different groups of people, which we can call stakeholders in this exact understanding. So we can call the 3 of them stakeholders, both the students, the parents, and the management. They are all stakeholders in this establishment. So he has interacted with these stakeholders. And by virtue of doing this, he's done what we call stakeholder analysis without even knowing what he was doing. So what Mr. A needs to now look out for is, which exact aspect of the tech sector do I need to get into that has stakeholder analysis embedded inside it? All right, which aspect of tech do I need to get into that has stakeholder analysis embedded inside it? So he's now going to look at what we call business analysis. All right, because for you to function as a business analyst, you have to understand stakeholder analysis. So by virtue of him now seeing this, Mr. A can now comfortably get into business analysis using those initial years of experience that he already has. And when he gets into business analysis, he's not going to be saying, oh, I just got into business analysis this year. No, that's not going to be the approach. Remember that he has been a teacher before. And by virtue of being a teacher, he has practiced stakeholder analysis by interacting with the students, interacting with the parents, and interacting with the management. So what he simply needs to do now is to be able to package himself to show that those underlying skills and understanding were there before now. Okay, so once he's able to do this, he can now comfortably say, oh, I've been a business analyst for a couple of years now, but remember, he's just learning business analysis at this very moment. So the easiest way for you to break into the tech sector is always from the aspect of transferable skill. What have you done before now that also exists in the tech space? What skills, what inherent things have you been able to do in your last place of work that when you look at it into the tech sector, you'll find a place that skill is very, very much needed. Remember, Mr. A used to be a teacher, but by virtue of being a teacher, he's practiced stakeholder analysis, and that is meant for business analysis. So it's easy for Mr. A to break into business analysis, still leveraging his initial years of experience. But if Mr. A now decides, oh, I want to get into cybersecurity, it is possible for him to get there, but it is going to be harder and longer. I don't know if we're all following. So it is possible for you to get into all tech career paths that exist. But the easiest way to break into it is to utilize the one that has transferable skills into where you want to be. Are we all following? Are we all here? Like I said earlier, I like calling names. So please interact with me. Do we understand the concept of utilizing your initial years of experience now? Do we understand that concept? All right, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Dan. Thank you to Josiah. Yes, okay, thank you, Elizabeth, as well. Now, if you are now looking to become or break into tech, this is the easiest part for you to take. All right, so I believe I've used this example to demonstrate this in a very, very easy way. Now, let's look at what we have on this slide right now. If you can see my slide now, this individual, let's call this guy Specimen A. I like using acronyms a lot, so let's call this guy Specimen A. So Specimen A, when he was in Lagos, Nigeria, he used to work with Oga Print Digital. as a business office manager. Okay, he used to work there as at 2016 to 2019. That's when he was there. Now he moved to Kodu Creative. When he moved to Kodu Creative, he was functioning as a different thing altogether. But what we try to do is, because this specimen A wanted to break into cybersecurity, when he was working in Kodu Creative, rather, he worked with AWS, all right? And by virtue of working with AWS, if you now look at which aspect of tech is AWS more suited to, okay? He used AWS to perform one activity, and that is what we highlighted and pointed it that he was working as AWS Security Operations Analyst, architect rather. Then he moved to Wilson Jameson. Now, in this Wilson Jameson, this individual was actually working as a receptionist, right? But by virtue of working as a receptionist, he actually was also in charge of monitoring the CCTV that is in that premises. So by virtue of doing that, in the context, some people will call it LinkedIn lingua, all right? The conversational tone that people use on LinkedIn. By virtue of him working as a receptionist, he was the one in charge of monitoring the security camera. So he now framed it that he was also working as a security event monitoring officer. Okay, so if you look back at his whole experience while he was working in Kodu Creative, that should be in 2019, he brought out one exact skill and blew it up here. All right, and then he moved to Wilson James. He also brought out one exact thing that he was doing, which is monitoring CCTV cameras, and it was now called Security Event Monitoring Officer, and blew it up. But remember, this is the point where he is actually learning cybersecurity. So he started learning cybersecurity in context as of July 2024. That is when he started learning cybersecurity, which when you check it, it's going to be roughly 1 year, July, August, September, 1 year, 3 months of him in this exact space. But by virtue of bringing out what he did back in the day that relates to cybersecurity, he can now comfortably mention that he has been in the cybersecurity space since 2019, which means he now has close to 7 years of experience. All right. But remember, this is the point where he is actually learning cybersecurity. I don't know if we understand this concept right now. So every aspect of the tech, what you've done before, there's a place that it is tilted towards. So when you want to now break into the tech career path, the easiest thing that you can do is to go back to your initial years of experience, initial things that you've been able to do. Bring out that exact activity that you did that relates to the aspect of tech that you want to break into. Blow it up, okay? But make sure that you learn that exact skill. Okay, so this is exactly how this exact specimen A, this is the point where he was learning cybersecurity, which means he's just roughly 1 year in this exact career path. But by virtue of leveraging his initial years of experience, he can now comfortably say that he has been in this space for 7 years now. I don't know if we all understand this concept before I move on now. Do we all understand how we can be able to utilize our initial years of experience to make our career path look more robust? Okay, thank you, Zoom user Elizabeth, Mark. Fantastic. I love those interactions. All right. Now, what I want you to do right now is for you to be able to also look back and find out what are those things that you've done before now that is tilting towards the aspect of tech. Okay, so we're also going to have a quiz right on this conversation for you to also find the career path that you can easily be able to tilt into. All right, so don't fear. Even if you don't know it yet, we have a quiz where once you take that quiz, you can easily find the career path that you have transferable skills into. Okay, so we are going to be looking at it. But before then, let's look at what happened last year, and then we'll also look at what is happening this year for you to prep your mind to know that it is possible for you to break into tech in 2026, okay? And I said 2026, and some people said before 2026, and that's a fantastic mindset to have. Okay, so last year alone, so throughout US, there was an increase, okay, in jobs that were created. So approximately 2.23 million jobs were created, which meant 186 jobs per month were created in 2024. Okay, and hiring alone in the tech space grew by 5.8% just in US alone. Now, when you bring this to the United Kingdom also, there is also the same thing being replicated. Okay, so the estimated number of workforce jobs also increased by 1%, which is around 364,000. Okay, so it's increased by 1% to what we had the previous year. Okay, and when you look at the net tech increase also, there was an increase there. And when you also bring it to the context of Canada, the employment in the tech sector also grew by 4.6%. So what is all this thing tilting into? That there is increments in jobs out there. Some jobs are going and some jobs are being created as well. Okay, but what you want to make sure is that you are tilting towards the career path that those jobs are being created through. Okay, so this is what we want to make sure that we do. And not just that alone. Here in Analytics alone, last year, over 350 people also got into the tech sector. And that's 2.5% increase from what we did in 2023. So this year alone, we've also surpassed that exact number, and we are still in September. So what all this is tilting is that I know we are all hearing AI is doing this, AI is doing that. If you hear about a tech skill right now, for instance, let's say cybersecurity, if you go to YouTube, you're going to see someone saying, oh, these are the reasons why you should not get into cybersecurity. If you hear about this one, when you get to YouTube again, you're going to see someone saying, oh, these are the reasons why you should not do this. But I want you to do your own research. Look at the numbers, okay? And this year alone, so I'm going to be honest with you, this year alone, the hiring in the tech sector has actually reduced. But what we notice is that there is an increase in tech jobs, even in sectors that are not just tech sector alone. For instance, the financial sector, they are looking for people that are coming to also automate their processes, to analyze their data, to build their infrastructure. So in this 2025 alone, there's already a higher growth rate than what we had last year. So all this is tilting towards one direction, that the best place to be in right now is towards the tech sector. So if you are looking that, oh, I want by 2026, I want myself to be part of these numbers, all these numbers that we're calling right here, then it means that you need to take action right now. Okay, so what this simply means is that you need to take action right now. If you're not able to take action right now, when we get into 2026, you're going to be seeing the numbers for 2025. And you're going to be asking yourself again, oh, when did all these things happen? But right now, it is happening before every single one of us. Okay? And all these hirings that happened in 2025, we've also experienced people that have been able to move from our own classroom into landing their own jobs. So there's one culture that we have, which is once someone lands a job, we always post it in our community for everyone to see. So clearly you can see from my slide where someone came and said, oh, this is what happened. I got a job in HR analytics, and we all congratulated that individual. Okay, and not just that, we've also written a lot of reference letters for people. All right, if we know Robert Half is one of the hiring agencies, outsourcing agencies in the United Kingdom. So we always get constant requests from them to provide references for our students. Okay, and this is something that we always make sure to provide for them. Okay, so all this is to show you that people are actually moving into all these places. All right, people are actually moving from where they are right now into the tech sector of the environment. And it is not just existing for people that studied science courses, or for people that studied arts courses, or for people that have been in the tech ecosystem. It is available for everyone. Because this is one major misconception that every single person always have. Oh, I don't have a tech background. Oh, I'm not mathematically inclined. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. But there's a place for everyone in the tech industry. Okay? The most important thing for you to now find out is which aspect of tech do I need to get into? Right? I saw someone asking a question about midwife. I may not be, how is it available for a midwife? Okay, I may not be able to dive right into it, but when we take the quiz, you are going to take the quiz yourself, and then you can easily see how you can easily break into the tech industry. All right. Now, first thing is this: we've had people that moved from the medical career path. Evelyn used to be a nurse for 15 years, but when she came to us, she mentioned that, oh, I don't want to be going to the office every single day anymore. I want something that I can be able to do and be in the comfort of my house because my children are now growing. Okay. And she transitioned to data engineering. We have some other person, John, that is also a medical doctor, but he also found out that the best place for himself is in the data analytics space. Same thing for Tony. Tony also used to work as a pharmacist, but right now she is a data analyst. So I've added the link for you to be able to listen to what they have to say. Right. So all you have to do is to make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues are dropping in the comment section. Right. Once you fill that form, when we are done with this session, we are going to share this slide with everybody that filled out from the slide and also the recorded version of this conversation. We are going to share it with everyone. So if you look at what I have on my screen right now, you're going to notice one thing. All these guys, they are all in the health sector. Evelyn is a nurse, John is a doctor, Tony is a pharmacist. But they had different places that they found their own transferable skills in. So that's why when someone is mentioning, oh, I'm an architect, I can see that comment clearly. So the quiz, okay, is the best place for you to answer. I'm going to get to that place, Martin. Just give me 5 minutes and I'm going to get to that point, all right? So any question that you have, just give me time, I'm going to get to it. For instance, you're an architect and you might be the kind of person that you don't actually enjoy numbers. And then there's another architect that he enjoys numbers, all right? And also you might be an architect and you don't like speaking to people. And there's another architect that loves speaking to people. So all these little personality differences is going to also guide you to a career path that you tilt to, as well as guide the other person to a career path that they are also going to be able to tilt to. All right. So even though two of you are in the same initial career path, personality differs. And because of that difference in personality, the quiz is individual to you. When you take the quiz, you find out where you are actually positioned to be in. Right? And this is not just for people in the science space, but people in the non-science background as well. We had Temi Vaughan. So Temi Vaughan used to be a lawyer, but he came to us and said, oh, I'm tired of the courtroom. All right, I want to be into tech as well. And he also did his own assessment and realized that the best place for him to transition into is the business analysis. Same thing for Osaubo. Osaubo used to be a salesperson, right, back in Nigeria. And she also transitioned to business analysis as well as Ngozi. Ngozi also used to be a customer service rep and she transitioned to business analysis as well. So you can see that these three individuals have different career paths that they've been working in. But by virtue of looking inward to find the transferable skill that they have into the tech sector, they were able to all figure out that, oh, business analysis is actually the career path that is meant for me. All right. So that is why it's important for you to do that quiz. All right. We also have this my beautiful sister that I have right here. I love her story a lot. That's Ikmat. So Ikmat is someone that, please let's confirm that we can still hear me because my second screen is frozen. Are we still following? Can we all hear me loud and clear? Are we here? Are we following me? All right, please let's confirm that we can all hear me. Are we here? Can we all still hear me?
Yes, you can hear you, Jonathan.
Okay, fantastic. My screen should be coming up right again. Okay, so like I was saying, Ikmat also transitioned from a career path that is entirely different from the tech space. All right. When Ikmat wanted to transition, she realized that she'd been out of work for a lot of years. Okay. She also branded herself to be a stay-at-home mom. She was able to find a career path that also suits her perfectly. In fact, let's listen to what Ikmat had to say before we move on. All right. Let's listen to what Ikmat had to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat and I was with the March cohort in Analytics, and joining Analytics has been the best decision so far. For me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Analytics came along, and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that if it is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. In Analytics, they will hold your hands like a child, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because it was like he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked, and I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he was mentioning, everything he mentioned, it was just they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a maths test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely, you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student, and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have analytics to go back to. They are the best, and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable.
All right, fantastic. I hope we've all heard what Ikmat had to say. So when she joined the program from her own side, 1 month into the program, she got a job. All right. And afterwards, she was not able to take it up because she was still a student after that period. So she was having limitations of working out. Then 2 months after she finished her own program, she landed 2 other jobs. So this is to tell you that the no's are actually going to come. So 1 month after, she was still constantly applying, nothing came. But 2 months after, she landed two that she now had to make the choice of where she wants to be in. So this is clearly to show you that it is not magic, it is not rocket science, it is the actual way it flows. There are some people that once they get the first no, they are instantly off the game. Okay. But constantly, when you keep up that good work, the yes is definitely going to come. Okay. So for us to be able to listen to all the success stories of the other people that I mentioned, please let's make sure that we fill the attendance form. All right. When you fill that attendance form, you have access to this slide that I'm using for this conversation, and also to the video that we're also going to share with you, the recorded aspect of this class that we're also going to share with you. My colleague Elijah does dropped it in the comment section. So let's move on, right? And this is not just in the aspect of landing jobs alone, right? If you see my screen, Mary was also able to land a full visa sponsored job. You can see how she got her own email from the Home Office in the United Kingdom, and she fully got into it. So that's why initially when we started this conversation, first thing I said is we need to know that it is possible. All right. Once you have that mindset that it is possible, All these other ones are now the things that you have to put into place. But for you to have success stories like this, for you to be able to break into it, what exactly do you have to do? There are three different steps. There are three different things that every single success story that we have, what they actually implemented. First thing is that they were able to learn. All right? They were able to learn. So you remember how you've been able to find out that, oh, you have transferable skill into business analysis. Okay, that's not just the end. After you've discovered that this is where I have transferable skills into, next thing you need to do now is to train yourself to be that business analyst. So that when you now speak, you're going to be speaking like you've been a business analyst for a lot of years. But remember, you're just training yourself now. Okay, so learning that skill is very, very crucial. And then package yourself. Packaging ranges from both CV optimization, your LinkedIn optimization, portfolio building, your mentorship sessions, and of course, interview prep sessions. I'm going to go into this packaging fully in the next couple of minutes, all right? And then how do you also get job references? These are things that packaging also gives you. And once you're able to learn, once you're able to package, next step is for you to simply apply. Applying to jobs like you are a machine, apply like with precision. Okay, when you apply with precision, you're not doing easy apply, easy apply. No. So what I'm doing is you are tailoring your CV down to the specifics of the job that you're going for and then applying to it. The one major mistake that many of us make is we simply use easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. Once that's the concept that you're moving with, there's tendency that you are going to struggle to land a job. All right? There is tendency that you are going to struggle to land a job. But when it comes to learning, let's even talk about learning. What exactly do you need to learn? For instance, Judith used to be a HR back in Nigeria. She moved to United Kingdom and she was also working as a support worker. But when she came to us, we looked at all her background. This is what Judith used to do. She was able to learn business analysis and then package herself as well, ranging from CV to mentorship sessions to interview prep, and then she applied to multiple jobs. Right now, Judith is working as a business analyst in United Kingdom, fully remote job. Okay, fully remote job. Full remote job. Same thing, that's what every other person has also been doing. So when it comes to learning, what exactly do you need to learn? So what we've done from our own side is we've analyzed several job boards, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Monster, Total Jobs, Indeed, Workapolis, Bulletin, to find out what was the highest number of jobs that were posted the previous year. After we've gotten that, okay, we now analyzed it using the World Economic Forum report. And what this told us is which career paths here are going to grow, which one are going to decline, right? Which one are going to grow and which is going to decline. And after that, we also passed it through what's the regional analysis saying with regards to visa. So when you look at the UK environment, every now and then, UK is always changing one of their immigration laws or the other. But we realize that that course that you need to be able to have, that skill, the career path that you need to get into, should be a place that no matter how the immigration laws are shifting in United Kingdom, it will still be able to give you that skilled worker visa, right? So if you've been, dwelling on getting a job with RQF of level 3, with the new immigration laws, for you to even get sponsorship, it needs to be a job that is up to RQF of level 6. So you need to be a career path that is recognized within that exact bracket. Okay, then we tilt it from the US environment, it should be the one that should give you at least H1 visa acceptance rates. Right, so the acceptance rate for the H1 visa is very high. I know many of us is going to ask, Bob, Trump has instituted some new things to say that for a company to bring you up, they have to pay $100,000 every year before you can even get that H1B visa. What that simply also did right now is that it's opened another window, right? There's this acronym that once one door is closed, a window is opened. So because of that, new laws around H1B visa, it's now opened opportunities for remote hirings. Okay, it's opened opportunities for remote hirings. And all the career paths that you need to get into is now the one that will it be able to give you that remote hiring possibility. Okay, then we also look at it from the Canadian landscape. We're also going to check whether it is amongst the jobs with highest provincial nomination. Okay, is it the one that is among the SaaS tech pathway, or are you getting into one that is not going to give you what you are looking for? So after we've done all these analysis, we were able to come up with 10 different career paths, right? We were able to come up with 10 different career paths. And this is something that constantly we are improving it. Every now and then we were improving it. If you've been following us before now, it used to be 8, but now it is 10 because there are new additions because of the changes that is happening in the immigration, in the tech environment, in the global landscape entirely. And what are those tech career paths? Simply, first is business analysis. Now have data analysis, have data science, also have agile product management, that's Scrum Master, have data engineering, and you have cybersecurity analysis, we have HR analysis, and also financial analysis. Then we have DevOps engineering as well as product design. So these two, there are two new there are new courses that we've also added that people can also be able to utilize because we've seen that there's also opportunities existing in this exact field. All right, so within these 8 career paths that I've mentioned now, how many of us know the one they want to get into right now? If you know the one you want to get into, simply drop it in the comment section. If you don't know, just say you don't know, because I'm going to still explain every single one of them before we are through so that I can know the one that is meant for you. Babatunde, I just see that. Okay. All right, Babatunde, please make sure you fill the attendance form so that by the time we are done, you get the slide and also the recorded version of this conversation. Ibuku said that he or she doesn't know. Johnson said financial analysis. User iPhone said don't know. Martins explain further cybersecurity. Fantastic. Undecided. Now, this is what happens most times. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to explain a lot of things around it so that you will be the one that will make your choice yourself. All right, so let's move on. So what we've also tried to do is when you look at the World Economic Forum report, which direction is the world tilting towards? Where is the world tilting? So if you look at the skill aspect of the World Economic Forum report, there is something that very important that happened there. So as of 2025 right now, there are some certain skills that recruiters are always looking out for. Number one is analytical thinking. They want someone that should be able to analyze data and give them insights, right? And then they're also looking at resilience, flexibility, and agility, which is now tilting towards your ability to have self-efficacy. Okay, how efficient are you with regards to the tasks that you're going to be provided with? They have leadership and social influence, which is now around your ability to work with others. So the fastest number 3 skills that recruiters are looking for is simply analytical skill, resilience and flexibility, and leadership skill, which is around cognitive skill, self-efficacy, and working with others. This is what is obtainable as at right now, as at 2025. This is what's obtainable. But what you've also come to see is that where is the world now tilting towards? Because in that same World Economic Forum report, when you go down, you're going to see, okay, which skill are on the rise? And what you're going to now notice is that the fastest skill as of today, the fastest growing world skill as of today is now AI and big data, as well as network and security, as well as technology literacy. So if you look at what is obtainable before now, you see that none of them embodies tech skill. In fact, before you see the first tech skill is around number 6. All right. Then when you get to number 11, you see AI and big data. But according to movements that is currently happening now, the number 1, 2, and 3, they are all within the tech space. AI and big data, networks and cybersecurity, and then technology literacy. Before you now start seeing creative thinking, resilience and flexibility, and others. So what it simply means is that the first thing that recruiters look at for now is tech skill. Which tech skill does this individual have? Right? Which tech skill are you coming with? And what I'm also going to now explain to us is, of all these tech skills that exist, which one is the fastest growing? Which one is declining? Which one do you need to run away from? Which one do you need to get into? Right? In that same World Economic Forum report, it's mentioned that by 2025, by 2030 rather, that's in 5 years' time, there's a lot of changes that will happen. 470 million jobs are going to be created fresh, and 92 million jobs are going to disappear. So every single block that you see on my screen represents 1 million jobs. So, and everyone on this red-hand side represent jobs that are going to decline, while the one on this green-hand side represents jobs that are going to grow. The blue ones simply represent jobs that are simply stable. So what you want to do is make sure that you move away from the red-hand side towards the green-hand side. Okay, now which jobs are going to grow? So according to the World Economic Forum reports, please, this is very, very crucial. Everybody should pay attention now. Okay, the fastest growing job, the fastest growing career path as of today is the big data specialist. All right, they are simply the big data specialists. I remember we're also talking about going to validate that the career path you want to get into is a path that in the next 5 years is still going to be valid. So this validates that data engineers and everybody that play in that same ecosystem, that their jobs are secure. Okay, you can see big data specialists is here. We have data warehousing specialists here, as well as data engineers here. So all the jobs on this left-hand side represent jobs that are going to grow. All the ones on this right-hand side represent jobs that are going to decline. So what you want to do is make sure that you are on the left-hand side. So we validated that data engineering is among the career paths that are going to grow. Then next is you're also seeing AI and machine learning specialists. All right. And this speaks about data scientists. So it validates that data scientist is going to be here as well. What does the red marked jobs represent? Okay, I'm simply using those red marks to classify data engineering alone. Juliet, I'm using it to classify data engineering, and all the jobs on the left-hand side represent jobs that are going to grow. So you can see right now there's a yellow marked boxes. So that is to validate that data analysts and data scientists are also amongst the career paths that are also going to grow in the nearest future. Okay, so this validates that data science and data analysis is a career path that we should also tilt towards. Remember, we validated data engineering first, we validated data science, and we're now validating data analysis. So if you keep checking, you're going to see the ones in the blue boxes that simply represent your cybersecurity guys. So you're going to see security management specialists, Internet of Things specialists, as well as information security analysts. So all these are derivatives of cybersecurity. So it simply means that cybersecurity is also a career path that is also in the demand. Okay, then business analysis as well. Business analysis as well is also in demand. You can see process automation specialists. Now, when you keep looking, you're going to see things like UI and UX designer. And what does this also mean? It simply means that the product designers are also validated that they're going to be in demand in the next coming years. All right. And then lastly, you're also seeing DevOps engineer fully highlighted here, telling you that DevOps engineering is also a career path that in the next coming years is also going to be very, very, very valid. So if you look at the ones that we have on this right-hand side, you need to run away from it, or you need to upskill to move you to that left-hand side. For instance, we have things like compliance officer. All right, so if you're a compliance officer here, you need to be wary, okay? If you are a financial investment advisor here, you need to be wary. If you are an arbitrator or relationship manager, you need to also be careful. Now, these are not my words, because these are how people might interpret it after now. They are not my words. It's simply data extracted from the World Economic Forum report. Now, what exactly is this? So every year, world leaders, forum leaders, governments, and NGOs come together to discuss some certain topics. And part of the things that they talk about is around the future of jobs. And we've simply extracted the entire discussion from the future of jobs. Now, if you go to the next page, you're also going to see validations that data analysts, data engineers, agile project managers, business analysts, that they are also going to be on demand. Now, if you check here, there are some courses here that's also in demand that we don't offer. And the reason for it is simple, because we have three main criteria that we use to look at a course. Does it have ease of learning? Does it have that ease of transfer and then high rewarding salary? Which means, is it a career path that people can easily have transferable skills into? One. Number two, is it a career path that anyone can easily learn? Two. And number three, is it a career path that will also give you high returning salary? What we realize is that every single one of them on this left-hand side will give you high returning salary. But when it comes to ease of learning and ease of transfer, that is where people find wanting. For instance, let me ask you a question. How many of us think that they can become a robotics engineer within a space of 6 months? If you think you can be a robotics engineer, just drop a yes. But if you think it's something that you are not actually sure of, then drop a no. Now, this is to show you that any career path that you're looking to get into should be a place that within a moment of 3 to 6 months, you should be able to transition into them. All right? Within a space of 3 to 6 months, you should be able to transition into them. All right, I like what Oluwa and Martin said. Nothing is impossible, though, and that is actually the truth. Nothing is impossible. If you want to become a robotics engineer, it is possible. But I can tell you for a fact now that it won't take you anything less than 18 months for you to become a robotics engineer and start looking out for jobs. So the question you now have to ask yourself is, do I have 18 months to give to learning a new skill? All right, so anything anybody wants to learn right now, you can learn it. But it's now the time that it is going to take you. So the career path that we're now looking at is the ones that will give you that ease of learning, okay? Which means within a space of 3 to 6 months, you should be able to land jobs, all right? You should be able to land jobs. Now, let's go back to this other slide. Ease of learning, fantastic, Gloria. Now, on this slide, you can easily see that we have here the fastest declining career path. The fastest declining career path. And you can see postal service clerks, bank tellers, data entry, this and that. The one that surprised me the most is graphic designers. Sincerely speaking, I didn't believe that graphic design is a career path that is declining. But I realized something this past week, okay, because we were trying to do a couple of graphic design, and we simply use Gemini to design a graphic by just prompting to do a space of one minute. We got the graphics of what we are looking for. So you can see the reason why it is now declining. Now, for a graphic designer that now wants to be able to upscale and be able to move towards this left-hand side, it simply means that he or she needs to add maybe elements of product designing, start learning UI, UX, for them to now be able to get into those career paths that are necessary. Yeah, Gloria, it is not my words. This is simply what the world is tilting towards right now. So you can see graphic design is among the jobs that is going. But if you come to this side, the one that is growing, you will see UI, UX. So the easiest thing that someone that is boxed in that exact place to do is to move to the side where they have transferable skills to the one that is growing and simply upscale from there. And once this person is able to do it, they can easily become a product designer as well. It's the same thing that we have here for accountants. So accounting and auditors are declining. But when you simply move to this other side and attach data analytics to it, you are simply now a financial analyst, which is a career path that is also in demand. All right. So for every career path that you are in right now that is declining, there is a substitute that is increasing. So what you need to do is to find that substitute, learn that skill, and transition to that career path. So now what I want all of us on this call to do now is let's find the career path that is meant for us. So what you need to do is simply scan the barcode that you have right there, or click the link that my colleagues are also going to drop for you to be able to have access to this. So let me click on it so that we can go to take this assessment. All right, so once you click on it, it's going to bring you here. But let me also drop it in the comment section so that all of us can take this quiz together. Remember, this is the way you can find out the career path that is meant for you. I just dropped the link in the comment section. All right, I just dropped it in the comment section. So let's all do it together. Okay, once you click on it, it's going to bring you to this point where it is saying, oh, we're not sure what tech career that suits your own personality. Let's get started. So first is that, of course, you're going to see a little bit of landing pages there. Then let's go. My name is Chukwuemeka for people that do not know me. Chukwuemeka, last name IKPA. And mobile number, let me use this. All right, email, let me use chukwuemeka@10analytics.io. All right. And then I would like to receive marketing communication, then next. So once you do this, it's now bringing you in to assess the initial skills that you have. So first thing it's asking me is, how do I feel in group settings or team discussion? So this is now a personality test that only you can take. Answer it honestly, because that is how you can be able to find out the career path that you can get into. But let's do it together. So how do I feel in group settings or team discussion? I thrive. I love engaging, leading, or just connecting. I'm selective. I like people, but I need balance. I prefer to work solo or behind the scene. Anyone that suits you. I can't access the link. Makala, you may want to check your internet because that's the same link that I'm using to also do this demonstration. Right? Is there another person that's having that same challenge? Please feel free to drop it in the comment section. Right? For me, I'm selective. I like people, but I need balance. How come you guys don't do project planner? Isaiah, I'm going to answer that. If you joined earlier, you will see all the rising career paths and the reasons why we do every single one of them. Okay, I can't access it. Okay, let me drop the link again. It's the same thing with the one that my colleague Elijah is dropping, right? It's the same thing. Is there anyone here that have been able to access the link, please? Is there anyone that have been able to access the link? Please just validate me so that I'll be sure that I can access. Thank you, Dan. So most likely, if you can't access it, it is from your own internet connection. All right, it is from your own internet connection. So let's go ahead. What best describes your current or most recent job? Caretaker, nurse, healthcare aide, customer service, retail, admin, finance, accounting. For me, I'm a teacher and an educator, so I'm going to select that. And then move ahead. Which of these sounds most like you? I like solving problems with people and organization. I prefer working with data and finding patterns. That is me. I love that. So simply let's jump right into it. It's not asking me, how comfortable am I with tools like Excel, Google Sheets, or numbers in general? So for me, I am very comfortable with it. All right, very, very comfortable. So what's my take on coding? That's a very dicey one. I love coding or want to go deep into it. I'm okay with light scripting or no-code tools. I'm curious, but not sure if I will enjoy it. I prefer logic puzzles over syntax. I mean, answer it the way it suits you. For me, I prefer light scripting or no-code tools. So let's move ahead. What kind of work environment do I prefer? Okay, so specifically for me, I love strategy and decision-making roles. So let's jump right into it. And what's most important to me right now, I mean, because of my old age, I'm not looking for I'm not looking for high paying jobs. I'm looking for job security on the long run now because I'm now approaching, 40. It's time for me to settle down. So job security is now what I'm looking for. I will select that as well. And then simply click on next. And then what kind of impact do I want to make? Leading organizations, driving data insights, enhancing employee, protecting information. I mean, I love to drive data insights. So which course now sounds appealing to me? Remember, I don't even know yet. So I'm going to say so many options, I am confused. And I'm going to click on it and simply tap right here. So once I tap on it, it's going to show me the career path that my skills are tilted towards, which is I am the analyst. Okay, I'm tilting towards data analytics. Now, this is the result that everyone that completes this is going to get. All right, this is the result that everyone that completes it, you are supposed to get a call to action driving you into a particular tech sector. So it's not you coming in without any understanding anymore. Now you're coming in with understanding that you have transferable skills towards this exact pathway. Now, if you've been able to complete it to this point, please feel free to drop your own course, the one that you have been, transitioned into. Let's see the people that have their own results already. All right, if you have your own results, let's see it. Please drop it in the comment section so that I'll be sure that there are people that actually did this simple simulation with me. Oh, we all did not do it. Okay, Johnson mentioned data analytics. Fantastic. Welcome to data analytics, Johnson at DMA. All right, Johnson mentioned data analytics. It's only Johnson that completed the the assessments. I didn't see what best describes my recent jobs, Martin Kosiso. Martin, fantastic response there. All right, fantastic response. We tried as much as possible to capture every single thing obtainable there. But if you look right on my screen, you're going to see speak to a career coach. All right. So if you were not able to also get a response, please simply click on this place and you're going to book a one-on-one conversation with our, experts, and they're going to have conversation with you to find a particular career path for you, right? There are several career paths out there that's inexhaustive. So when you are unable to find one, please simply click on this, speak to a career coach, right? It's entirely free, and they're going to book a one-on-one conversation with our career experts, and they'll have conversation with you, okay? And if the one is selected, you feel like, oh, this place is still not for me. You are still checking it one way or the other. It's not clear yet. Please also feel free to click on that speak to a career coach, and someone is also going to be there to have conversation with you. Okay, I can see a couple of results dropping now. Precious mentioned cybersecurity. Fantastic. I can't wait to see in the class, Precious, cybersecurity. Emmanuel, data analytics. Olua, the builder, data engineering, like I said earlier. You must like coding a lot, Olua. I'm sorry, more if I murder your name. Financial analytics, Emmanuel, data analytics, Dant, financial analytics, Funke, business analysis, and every other person. So as simple as that, okay? For people who already have the skill set, where are the best places and tactics for job searching? Fantastic question, Informer. All right, if you joined earlier, it's also around tilting towards the fastest growing career paths, okay? So even if you have already existing skill, for instance, myself, when I transitioned, I started from GRC, because that's where I saw my transferable skill in, that's cybersecurity, right? But right now, I've moved into data analytics, business analysis, okay? Because after I got into it, there was need for me to also, keep getting one or two skills for me to be able to sit here and have conversations with you. So even when you have one, it's not that it's not enough. It is enough, but it depends on what you are pursuing. It depends on what you need. So if you are looking to also diversify, you want to also tilt to a different aspect. Okay, Johnson, you are still confused. Please feel free to book that one-on-one to speak to our experts, and someone like myself is going to be there to have conversations with you. If you're just joining us, please, this link is for you to be able to assess your skill and find where you have transferable skills into the tech sector, because you don't have to shoot blindly. If you shoot blindly, you're not going to kill any bushmeats. So you need to target and shoot accurately. Moving on, please, let's make sure that we fill the attendance form so that by the time that we are done with this, you can have all these slides, go through it, dissect it on your own, and be better informed, okay? It's very, very important that you do your own research with all the reports that we're presenting to you. So when we talk about learning, how exactly are you going to be learning with us, right? How are you going to be learning with us? So our programs are structured in two basic ways. One is the way I'm conversing with you right now. That's how you have someone in the classes teaching you live in the classroom, okay? And then also you have what we call watch me do it videos in short bites. They're expected to watch to understand some theoretical things, because the classes are fully practical-based class, okay? They are fully practical-based class. So once you also go through the theoretical watch me do it videos, you now come into class and learn using the practical model. So why I'm showing this last is because some people have the mindset of changing their career paths after they see the average salary for people in some places, all right? But I want us to understand this. When it comes to tech income and average salary that you can get, it's also a product of the sector of the economy that you are in. For instance, let's add quickly. You can see that a data analyst is earning this in UK, Canada, and US, which is for 7,000 for UK, Canada is $4,000, then US $72,000 average. Then in cybersecurity, you are seeing what the cybersecurity guy is also earning: 57,000 in UK, 140,000 in Canada, 105 in US average. But let me ask us a very interesting question. If you are a data analyst and you work in oil and gas, and I am a cybersecurity person and I work in let's say, government agency or government parastatal, government agency, who do you think is going to earn more? The data analyst in O&G or the cybersecurity person in government parastatal? Who do you think is going to earn more? Let's even know people that are in this conversation with me. Can I, okay, Juliet, can I combine business and cybersecurity? That would be hard, Juliet, unless you can divide yourself in two places at the same time. All right. Emmanuel said O&G, fantastic. I like calling it O&G. I have a friend that when he's talking, he says, oh, in O&G, I'm just knowing that he's talking about oil and gas because he's based in the oil and gas sector. So you can see clearly that it is also a product of the sector of the economy that you belong in. But this is the average that anyone is most likely going to get in any of them. Of the list, this is what you're going to be getting. So if you're in the UK environment, what you're going to also realize is that every single one of them met the new criteria for you to get a COS, your job needs to pay at least £41,000. So it simply means that any single one of them that you're getting into will meet that exact criteria. I think before now, it was around 38,400 or thereabouts. But after July, it was increased to £41,000. But remember what we said earlier, no matter the changes that most of these governments are making, we are only looking at career paths that will always suit into those changes that are making. And that's why we only have all these 10 courses that we are offering. So very important, please make sure that when you are transitioning, do not look at the financial income first. Many of us have made the mistake of saying, oh, data engineering is paying 134 in US, it's paying 65,000 in UK, let me go to data engineering. But you don't want to code. So you are definitely going to drop out and say, oh, this will not teach me anything. But what was driving you was the money aspect. So there has to be that transferable skill. Okay, once that transferable skill exists and you tip towards the one that have transferable skill to, you are going to be able to transition easily. Okay, but when you look at it from the financial aspect, you can break into it actually, but it's just like it's going to take you longer. It's easier for you. Okay, you have this understanding already and you're trying to get into there. So it's easier for you to get into there. But when you don't have any transferable skill, you can still get into that exact place, but just like it's going to take you longer. So the question now is, do you have that time? It's all dependent on so many factors that you have to put into consideration, which is why I always mention that it's a personal journey. Okay, when I was transitioning to cybersecurity, a friend of mine transitioned with me, but she did not even last more than a month because she didn't like all those technical things. Oh, you have to disintegrate this one, you have to do this one. She doesn't want it. She just wants a place that she can, be able to stand firm, interact with people. As a cybersecurity person, you're not even smiling with anybody. You're not even smiling with anybody. So these are things that you have to put into consideration so that when the going gets tough, your inherent skill will still push you. So please don't be like Juliet that is trying to transition with regards to the financial income. Please do not be like Juliet. All right, moving on. We'll talk about packaging. Getting the skill alone is not sufficient. Right? Getting the skill alone is not sufficient. There is something that Elon Musk posted earlier this year. He said that if you are a hardcore software engineer, all right, and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. Then he went on to say, we don't care where you went to school or whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. So what is this telling us? It simply means that the era of certification is over. Nobody cares about your certificate anymore. Nobody cares that, oh, I went to the University of Cambridge, I came out with first class. Where are your skills and experience? What have you done before now? So nobody really cares about it. In fact, I worked for a fintech that my CTO, the guy didn't go to any university, right? He's still in Nigeria, right? After his secondary school, he started writing code. And in Nigeria, he's working for foreign companies. And this guy didn't go to university. It was last year or thereabouts that he now started going to get his first degree. Whereas people like me who run to get MBA and so many things, for him, nothing, and he's fully flourishing in the tech industry. So that's what I wanted to also understand, that nobody really cares about where you went to school, right? Or even if you went to school at all, and even the company that you're working at. So I used to smile and laugh when my friends are telling me, oh, they're doing this argument, oh, Deloitte and KPMG. I'll just be laughing. I just say, people are not serious yet. Because the truth is that nobody cares. Nobody sincerely cares. So once you have that skill and experience, that is what everyone is looking at. What skill and experience are you coming with? What's your value proposition in this company that you're coming to work to? So for you to be able to package yourself, that learning alone is not sufficient. We have someone like Hope. Like Hope is already a full certified Scrum Master, but she was struggling to land jobs. So when she came to us, we had conversations. We realized that, oh, you have all this theoretical understanding, but as a Scrum Master, you don't even know how to use Jira. You don't know how to use Azure DevOps. You don't know how to use this. So how are you going to manage a team, right? So she joined our own Agile Project Management class, and she was walked through all these things. And then by the end of 2024, Hope landed a job as a project analyst in Canada. So this is to show you that it is fully possible also. So once you get the slide, simply click here, and they're going to hear her own success story. You hear directly from her and not from me. So we'll talk about packaging. Packaging starts from portfolio. Remember I said skill and experience. So let's click at one of the portfolio of one of the past students. So when you click on this portfolio, it's going to bring you to this person's portfolio. So right here, you're going to see what she worked on. So while she was working with us, she worked in deep care hospital ER visit analysis. One, she worked on a project in Redox Airline. She worked on Express Tech Food Delivery. She worked on Nestle products. She worked on Zenith Electronics. Now, if you look at it from the sector of the economy, you see Zenith Electronics is in the tech space. Nestle is in FMCG. Redox Airline is in aviation. Express Tech is in supply chain. And Deep Care is in health space. Now, this is her working in 5 different sectors of the economy by virtue of training with us. Now, do you think that if Victoria goes for an interview with this portfolio saying, oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this, I worked on that. I worked in this, I had a consulting experience in 5 different sectors of the economy, in this, in that. Do you think they will leave Victoria and hire you because you have a master's degree in data science from University of Hull? Let's be honest to ourselves. Do you think they're going to leave Victoria that will come and say, oh, I've consulted with analytics, I worked in 5 different, I had a project that worked in 5 different sectors of the economy. In aviation, I did this. In supply chain, I did that. In health, I did this. Do you think they're going to leave her and hire you because you have a first degree in statistics and a second degree from University of Hull? They won't. They will not. So Shonda Hyatt, will you receive assistance in how to? Yes, in your portfolio, you are going to be receiving assistance. So you can see when you even click on any of those projects, you will see the actual work that she did. So she can comfortably now come and say, oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on the healthcare data. Now, my most important pain point there was, I noticed that the average waiting time was 35 minutes, 26 seconds. So I made a decision that how do I reduce the average waiting minutes to 30 minutes? I did this, I did that, I did so and so on. And by the end of the quarter, I realized that the average waiting time dropped to 20 minutes. And because of it, it improved the number of our ER patients, which in return improved our revenue. So when you speak like this, do you think they're not going to know, oh, this person knows what he's actually speaking? But somebody has to come and say, oh, when I was in, oh, they taught us this, they taught us that. There is difference. It's going to be glaring. So the most important thing you need to make sure that you have is have evidence to what you've done. And that is where your portfolio comes in. So a quick question for everyone here. You have a car as of today and your car spoils. Are you going to take your car to someone that is saying, oh, bring your car. I'm a graduate from Cambridge University Mechanical Engineering. Or will you give your car to the roadside guy that is saying, oh, this is my mechanic workshop. I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired Toyota, I've repaired Volkswagen. Bring your car, let me repair it for you. Who are you going to give your car to? Let me gauge whether we are following this conversation. Are you going to give your car, Oluwa said Ron, who are you going to give your car to? To the guy from Cambridge University First Class Mechanical Engineering, or to the roadside guy that is saying, this is my mechanic workshop. I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired Ferrari, I've repaired this. Who are you going to give your car to? Anthony said roadside mechanic, okay? The man with technical experience, that's what Jumai mentioned. Okay, so fantastic. So that is to show you that most time, even you, when you want to hire a mechanical engineer, you don't look at certificates. You look for skill and experience. So what is making you think that when company wants to also hire you, they're going to be looking at those certificates? All right? What makes you think that? So it is always evidence for you to have, it's always important for you to have an evidence, because that is proof that you've done this before, which means you can also replicate it for them. All right, so moving on, after your portfolio, it's also important that you have a CV that is very, very compelling. I'm going to tell us a very important story, because we're trying to do a couple of arrangements with some universities back in Nigeria. I met one of the VCs, and the VC asked me a very important question. He said, Chukwemeka, how many years of experience do I have? Now, when he asked me this question, I knew that he was trying to box me up. If you understand Nigerian environment, I fully knew that he was trying to box me up. So I simply said, oh, our management team has close to 50 years of experience. Personally, me as a CEO, I have 11 years of experience. My founder has 16 years of experience. Our co-founder has 14 years of experience. And collectively, we have close to 50 years of experience. That was the response I gave him. Now, had even I told him, oh, I just had 11 years of experience, he's going to look me up and look me down. Because, I mean, who is this small boy that's coming to do interactions here? But when you answer from a place of comprehension, I was able to also show value, that it's not just me. There are people behind me. There are people that are standing behind me that also provide some external influence. Okay, so your CV optimization is very, very important. And what we do here is that after you've joined the program, 2 months after, we are going to work on your CV. So you provide us a prototype, and then we're going to optimize it to the program that you are learning. Then afterwards, you're also going to go to LinkedIn optimization. It's very, very important that you are visible. Visibility is everything when you're looking to hire a job. So when you go to that World Economic Forum report, you're going to notice something there. There's also a skill that is on the rise, and that is social influence. How are you able to socially influence things? And you are saying, oh, LinkedIn is too cringe. I mean, we understand that LinkedIn is cringe, but you also need to be able to enact some social influence, be a thought leader in your environment. How do you communicate these things? That is why LinkedIn is also very, very crucial. We're also going to help you optimize that. Then how do you navigate the job market? What we do is when you come in, we have experts that joins from different regions, from North America, from Europe, from Africa, to walk us through the different platforms that we can also utilize. Then interview prep session, very, very crucial, very, very powerful session. We just had one yesterday, right? And you're going to understand how do you answer interview questions using the SIT framework and the STAR approach, right? How do you answer interview questions using these two basic things? The STAR framework is simply talking about situation, task, action, and results. Why the SIT framework is simply talking about skill, experience, achievements, and type of person. For instance, you've gone for an interview, they're asking you, oh, tell us about yourself, Chukwemeka. That is where the SIT approach comes in, which is skill, experience, achievement, type of person. Hi, everyone. My name is Chukwemeka Ekpa, and I am a data analyst with 11 years of experience. I've worked in the financial service sector. I've worked in capital markets. I've worked in banking. I've done this. And in all these places I've worked, I've helped them to improve their data. The most important one was when I was working with Bank PHP. Okay, we had this project that I had to carry out using Power BI and SQL. I did this, I did that, and by virtue of that, I improved their optimization by 10%. I consider myself to be a team player, and that means I can be able to work with anybody that is provided for me to be able to work with. This is me introducing myself using the SIT framework. Skill, experience, achievements, and type of person. So when you're able to communicate like this effectively, they are going to hear you. You are going to leave that lasting impression in their minds. Some people come to an interview and mention, oh, my name is Chukwemeka. I'm from Nigeria. I have 2 children and 1 wife. Nobody cares. There is a framework they are looking for. And when you're able to answer it like that, you've boxed them to be asking you questions within what you've said. Oh, you mentioned that you did 10% improvement with bank PHP. How are you able to do that? So you've practiced these things and you've already, packaged yourself to be able to speak. So these are things that will prepare you for star framework, situation, task, action, and result. They're not asking you, oh, while you were in back PHP, have you done this? That is where you now start from situation. Oh, while I was consulting with these guys, I did this, I did that, and they resulted in this. So interview prep session is one of the powerful sessions that you're also going to be benefiting from, which is also part of the offerings that you are going to be getting. Then job references. If you're in US, UK, or Canada, you understand the importance of references and recommendation letter. So because you are coming in to consult with us, you're not just coming to learn, because all the projects that you are going to be working on, they are real life projects. We are also able to provide you with reference letters and recommendation letters. So at any point that you need any of these things, we're also available to provide you reference letters. Then on the job support, if you're straight struggling on your job, we're also fully here to support you. Then weekly mentorship session and Upwork optimization session. How do you utilize Upwork to make 50 pounds here, 50,000 cedis here, 50,000 naira here, 50 USD here, as the case may be. So all these things are part of the packaging that you are going to be getting. Remember two things that I've spoken about. First is learning. Number two is packaging. And then lastly, we are going to be talking about application. So when you are also packaging, the program is fully for 8 months. All right, all our courses are fully for 8 months. We are going to spend 6 months learning with Analytics, and then spend 2 months interning with Amdari. So what this means is that I have the option to say, oh, I've worked with 2 leading tech companies. I consulted with Analytics, and I also intern with Amdari. And these are things that recruiters want to see. They don't want to see, oh, I learned this one using, imagine you are trying to hire a medical doctor, and the doctor said, oh, I learned this procedure on YouTube. How will your reaction be? Because this is one major thing that people do not understand yet. You are going to see someone and say, oh, how were you able to get your tech skill? And I said, oh, I learned this one on YouTube, I learned this one on. So it is scary sometimes. But when you mention that, oh, when I was consulting with Analytics, that's when I did this. When I was interning with Amdari, that's when I did that. It gives it more value because these are things that recruiters want to see. So packaging is very, 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 very important. Now, moving on to application, how are you going to be applying? So what we do from our own side is that we scrape different job boards that exist in UK, US, Canada, Australia, South Africa, and provide those jobs to you. So if you're in data analytics, you're going to be receiving data analytics jobs. If you're in data science, you're receiving data science. If you're in cybersecurity, you're receiving cybersecurity. Okay, and the context is for you to be able to be applying to these jobs. So what you now need to do is simply tailor your CV down to all those jobs and apply to them. We'll go through the journey of getting all the available jobs out for you. But now, the responsibility of applying to these jobs rests fully on you. All right? And this is where some people fall out. Our success rate as of today is at 91%. What simply means is that 91 people out of 100 that come into our program get to move on to greater things. Now, the 9% that are not doing this realize that they all fall out at the application stage because there's limit to what we can do for you. Okay, we've taught you, we've packaged you, we've scraped job boards for you, but the responsibility to apply to these jobs rests on you. And if you know how to apply to jobs, you know that applying to a job is a job on its own. Right? So we teach you how to tailor your CV and then push jobs to you for you to apply to them. And if you're able to do all those things, trust me, you are definitely going to come out victorious in the end and be able to say, oh, I was able to land job after I finished this program with Analytics. So everything I said is just boxed into 3 different steps. Learn, package, apply, and you have the job. Every single one of them works together. If you learn and jump packaging and apply, you may land the job, but your packaging will come out. If you package yourself, apply, and land the job, it's going to show that you don't even have anything in the first place to learn. So that 3 process is very, very important. Learn the skill, package yourself, apply to the job. So once you're able to do all these things, you are also going to have all these success stories that we have here. So all these are success stories of people that have been able to move from here into landing amazing things. We have Ramat. Ramat used to be a CS in UK, but right now she is a business analyst. We have Lois. Lois to be an accountant. All right. She did business analysis with us, and right now she's a project manager. We have Ngozi, we have Oluwadamilare, we have a lot of success stories. Okay. So what I would advise you to do is please make sure you fill the attendance form that my colleagues Lydia and Elijah are dropping in the comment section. So when we are done, we're going to share this slide with you, and you can go through it on your own and assimilate every single success story that we have right there. So all these are still success stories of people that made this move before you. Every single one of them are success stories. In all the programs that we have, there are a lot of success stories that exist for people there. Now, what skill must I have to land these jobs in 2025? Okay, so I've been able to explain all those career paths. Right now, we know the career paths that we can actually be able to get into. So I'm going to explain each of them so that you can also have a better understanding, right? I'm going to explain each of them. Uluwa, just give me 15 minutes and I should be rounding up. 15 minutes, I should be rounding up. All right? Now, first is business analysis. There's a lot of information I need to, upload and, download for everyone. Just give me 15 minutes. First one is business analysis. When we talk about business analysts, who exactly are these guys? So these are simply people that come into the business to improve and optimize the processes. All right? They come into the business to improve and optimize the existing processes. So if you are someone that you have a knack for process improvements, you have a knack to be able to interact with every single one to understand their process, then you should be looking at business analysis. All right? So, but make sure that you are also someone that can converse with people. Because as a business analyst, you can't just hide on your own and say you are working solo. No, you are going to be working with every single stakeholder that exists there. So first thing that you're going to be understanding is you need to have data literacy, which is why you're learning Excel, Power BI, and SQL. They now move to understanding projects, because when you see a process to be improved, for you to improve it, you need to embark on a project. So that's why the understanding of project management is important. So there's an aspect of business analysis that introduces you to project management. Then you have your full business analysis courses here, ranging from requirements on fundamentals, elicitation method, stakeholder analysis, and of course, software development lifecycle. So if you're someone that you like interacting with people, you don't want to dive deeper into data, you want to scratch data small, you don't mind speaking to people, you should be looking at business analysis. All right. And when you are done, you're going to be learning Excel, SQL, Power BI, Lucid Charts, Draw.io, Confluence, Jira, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then Agile Project Management. If you've heard about no code area in tech, these are the people that we're talking about. So if you want to break into a career path in tech where you are not doing anything technical, your responsibility is to manage people, to lead them, to coach them, make sure that everyone is working using agile methodologies, then you should be looking at Agile Project Management. So these guys serve as leaders and coach within a project management team. All right, so their responsibility is to serve as leaders and coach within a project management team. So you need to make sure that you are someone that you don't mind leading. If you are running from leadership, you should run from Agile Project Management. So when you're also done, you're going to be learning Confluence, Jira, and also Trello. Now let's move to data engineering. If you are running from coding, run from data engineering. So these guys are responsible for building the architecture, okay, on which the data flows fully. Okay, so they build the pipeline on which data is going to flow. So as a data engineer, you need to understand SQL, Python, Linux. You need to be able to code. Okay, even if you do not, remember all the programs are from basic level to advanced level. But you need to understand that for this data engineering, it requires you to code a lot. All right, things that you're going to be doing may not even look appealing to some people because it's going to just be looking like lines of code. So for a data engineer, let's relate it to a plumber in construction companies that they build pipelines to make sure that water flows from the water source down to the tap or to the shower or to the WC. So they build that pipeline. That's how a data engineer is also building pipeline to make sure that data flows seamlessly within the ecosystem. They will have data scientists. these guys are responsible for answering three basic questions. Okay, they're responsible for answering three basic questions, which is number one is what we call descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and predictive analytics. Predictive analytics. All right, predictive analytics. I think something is blocking my screen. Yeah, predictive analytics. So we'll talk about descriptive. We'll talk about what happened to this data. We'll talk about diagnostic. We'll talk about why did it happen. And then predictive is what is going to happen in the future. So a data scientist is responsible for looking at data to tell us this is what happened to this data. This is why it happened. And this is what we have to do for this to happen in the future. So if you are someone that has a knack for data and you don't mind getting into coding a little bit, because there's a slight coding embedded here, which is where you now start going to Python programming. So first four things that you have here, which is statistics, forecasting using Excel, Tableau, and SQL, they also prepare you to work as a data analyst. So what does this mean? It simply means that all data scientists can also work as data analysts. All data scientists can work as data analysts. Okay, then from Python programming downwards to exploratory data analysis, machine learning, computer vision, you're now moving to proper data science. Machine learning, when you hear about AI and machine learning, it is an element of data science where you're now building models that is going to also replicate human functions. So if you're looking to get into AI, this aspect of data science is also for you. Okay, and if you're looking to get into data and you want a scripting or little coding embedded, then data science is for you. All right, but for data analysts, they simply answer two basic questions, which is the descriptive and the diagnostic. All right, they tell you what happened and why did it happen, but they don't predict. They don't tell you the future. They don't build predictive models. Okay, so what they are learning is around problem solving, Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, data storytelling, and also ChatGPT for data analysts. So clearly, there's a distinction between both. Data analysts can fully function to provide analytical insight without tilting towards coding. So if you want to get into career path that you analyze data, provide insights without coding, then data analytics is for you. But if you're looking to add little elements of coding into it, then you need to be looking at data science, because that is where you now build predictive models that's also going to function to predict the future. I hope we are all still following to this very moment. I hope we are all following, and I hope I've been able to explain your own career path that you've been able to select. I hope I've been able to explain your own career path. Is data engineering same as software engineering? No. At the cool no. So software engineers are people that build softwares that develop things from up down. While data engineers, they build pipelines. For instance, you want to scrape data from Twitter. You need to extract that data, transform it in your IDE, and then load to a database. That is the work of a data engineer. But software developers are simply building products from ground up. I hope that makes sense to you. Now we'll talk about financial analysts and HR analysts. These are now simply data analysts that have specialized in a particular career path. So a data analyst that specializes in financials is called a financial analyst. All right. A data analyst that specializes in HR, people data, is called a people analyst or HR analyst. So if you look at the first four things that they are going to be doing, is around data analytics. So this prepares them to function as a data analyst. Then from number 5 down, that is where you now function as a financial analyst, starting with your accounting fundamentals, understanding your 3-statement model, your balance sheets, your income statement, and of course, your cash flow. Then you move to your financial analysis, financial modeling. How do you build financial models? Valuation and sensitivity analysis, and of course, ChatGPT for analysts. Same thing for the HR guys. First 4 things they are learning prepares them to function also as a data analyst. Then this other one now is the people aspect of data. Okay, how do you build KPIs for people within your organization? How do you track attrition and also absenteeism? How do you build compensation to make sure that it's also within the equity standards? And then how do you collaborate to track your recruitment? Because there are several people involved in recruitment, not just you as HR. In fact, most time, the hiring manager is different from the HR. Okay, the hiring manager may actually be maybe the training lead, at least maybe somebody within his team. That's the hiring manager, which is different from the human resource manager. Okay, so that is how you also then how do you collaborate and track all these things? Then how do you also utilize HRMS system, which is Orange HRMS, for you to be able to have a holistic aspect of people management? Then we also have cyber security. So cyber security is a little bit very broad, right? Because under cyber security, we have different groups that exist. We have the red team and we have the blue team, right? Red team is responsible for attack, while blue team is responsible for defend. So what we do is to make sure we walk you through understanding every single one of them. So if you look closely, you're going to see that first thing that you're going to be doing is around understanding risk management, and then your information security principle, which is your CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and then availability of data. Right, confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. Please, let's confirm that we can still hear me. Can we still hear me? Can we still hear me loud and clear? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so okay, fantastic, yes, because my second screen was hanging. All right, so after that, your information security principle, you now move on to understanding the SOC roles, network security, log analysis, your network traffic monitoring, and several other things embedded there. Now, this is you fully understanding what we call the defense aspect of cybersecurity, which is also functioning as a SOC analyst. All right. Then from number 7 down to number 11, you are now learning how do you function as an attack-minded cybersecurity person. Attack, which is where pen testing comes in. Okay, starting with your open OSINT gathering, and now moving to a malware analysis, and of course, introduction to pen testing. So all this prepares you to be a full-blown cybersecurity personnel. Then lastly, you have your GRC. Okay, so governance, risk, and compliance, where you now understand frameworks, understand policy development, be able to function as a security awareness trainer. So all these are different segments that exist in cybersecurity. You need to understand every single one of them. So this will happen. And then after your 6 months training, cybersecurity is different. After your 6 months training, during your internship experience, you can now specialize in one exact role. Either you want to specialize in GRC, you can specialize in pen testing, or you can specialize in SOC analysis. So you can now specialize in one exact role. But for every other career path, they are not as broad as cybersecurity. So the reason for this is because, for instance, for you to be a GRC person without even understanding what the technical guys are doing, you are going to be building control system that is going to fail. But when you understand that technical places too, and we now build policies, you can comfortably be able to build a standard policy. I hope we are all following. So for all these programs that I've mentioned now, they are all for 8 months, right? You are going to be learning in the classroom for 6 months and then have an internship experience for 2 months. So you are learning in the classroom for 6 months with analytics and then have an internship experience with Amdari for 2 months. And the classes are only on Saturdays alone. So on Saturdays, we'll have 2 basic classes, one in the morning and one in the evening. That's using the West African time zone rather. The morning class is by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, while the evening class is by 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. So if you are in Europe or if you're in Africa, then the morning class will be suitable for you. But if you're in North America or if you are in US or Canada, as the case may be, then the evening class will be more suitable for you. All right? And remember, all the classes are recorded. So even if you miss any session, you have a lifetime access to every single one of them. Okay, then for all the programs that we also have, the mentorship session holds mostly on Thursdays by 10 p.m. West African time and also on Thursdays by 8 p.m. MST. So the one by 10 p.m. West African time can be attended by people within Africa and also Europe. While the one by 8 p.m. MST can be attended by people in North America, that's Canada and US. So 8 p.m. MST should be around 3 a.m. West African time. So all these are segmented for people in different time zones. But every single one of those sessions are always recorded. So the reason for this is for it to be able to, even if you miss any session, you can always go back and watch the recorded version of that. And not just that alone, we have amazing course that we're also introducing, which we call DevOps engineering. All right, so we have DevOps engineering. I know someone was asking, is software engineering also the same thing as data engineering? They are different things. So for DevOps engineering, it's simply people that have learned the practice, okay, to be able to automate and integrate both the software development lifecycle and also the operations team. So if you've seen this sign before in any tech environment, hope I can draw it better. It simply represents DevOps, development and operations. So that's what this simply stands for, development and operation. In simple terms, software development and IT operations. So because of automations that are currently happening now, organizations are also looking for people that have the understanding of both of them. Okay, for instance, for development to start up, you can see what you have here. First thing that you have to do is your plan. So this is like an arrow that is continuously moving. So this is like an arrow that is continuously moving. It is a never-ending loop. It is a never-ending loop that starts with planning. So from planning, it's now moving to coding. From coding, it's now moving to building. From building, it's now moving to tests, and then integrate, which is the point where it is pushed to operations. Okay, from the operations environment, it is now deployed. Okay, they are now operating using it, and then of course, it is now also being monitored. So there are people that also need to have that understanding. And for you to be able to do this, that means there are several tools that you need to learn. So this is simply the embodiment of software development and IT operations. For instance, for you to plan, you need to learn Jira. For you to code, you need to learn your Git. For you to build, you need to learn Maven. For you to learn test, you need to learn your Selenium. So there are different tools that you need to learn. So once you have this understanding fully, for you to be able to integrate both the software development part of it as well as the IT operations part, you become a DevOps engineer. So this is a course that is also coming up. And if you want to join DevOps specifically, then you simply have to click this wait list that we have right here. Simply have to click this wait list that we have right here. So it's not fully flown. It's a program that is going to come out in the next couple of, this is just for us to make awareness for it as well. Then product design is also coming out fully. All right, and we'll talk about product design. People mistake it as graphic designers, UI, UX designers, and so on and so forth. There are differences between all this. So product design is simply the process of you figuring out how something should work. Okay, for instance, let me use this example. Under UI, we have UI. Hope I'm able to explain this in the next couple of 2 minutes, and then we should be done. We have UI, we have UX, we have product design. Under UI, we are looking at the interface. Under UX, we are looking at the experience. And under product, we are also looking at the business side too. Okay? Then under user interface as well, we have several other things that we're now looking at, which is also going to be around your design elements, which can include your fonts, your colors, your several things, your pattern, and so on and so forth. But under user experience, they're now looking at the journey of that exact customer. How is the customer going to move? How is the flow going to be like? Right? How is the flow going to actually be? Then under UI interface, user interface also, we're looking at prototyping. But for products, we are looking at the business, the adoption, and also the retention, as well as the growth. So when you talk about product design, it's simply the embodiment of this experience with the business perspective. So if you are simply doing UI and you're not adding this product aspect of business, adoption, retention, growth, looking at the customer journey, looking beyond just what we are designing, they have not yet arrived, because the actual context of product design is people that design the process, okay, they figure out how something should work, as simple as that. So product design is a simply marriage between the user experience and the business aspect of things. So if you are someone that you have a knack for designing, bringing things into life, and not just that, you also have an element of business embodied into it, then you should also be looking at product design. And this is a course that should also be coming out in the next coming month. So if you also want to join this one as well as simply click on the join waitlist. But for all the 8 other courses I've talked about, you can easily be able to start November 8th. So what we always do is that every new month, we start a new cohort. And the next cohort that is starting on November 8th. And how can you easily get started? It's simple, all right? You just need to fill in the form and register. So for all our courses right now, it is going for $1,000, every single one of them. But it's discounted for 25%, which means you have the opportunity to pay instrumentally for 5 months. You can pay $150, $150, $150, $150, $150, all right? And that is accumulated $750 within a period of 5 months. Okay, remember, it is currently discounted to 25%, which means instead of you to pay $1,000, you are paying simply $750. And you can pay all this instrumentally. Every month, you are paying $150. And how can you actually secure your spots? So for you to be able to secure your spot, simply click on the link that my colleague just dropped. Okay, once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to this course page. Right? And all you have to do at this very moment is simply scroll down and look for the program that you want to go for. Okay? Right, simply scroll down and look for the program that you want to go for. So you can see that this is the course catalog. You can see data analytics, business analysis, financial analytics. For people that want to go for anyone, let me use data analytics as an example. All you have to do is simply click on buy now. When you click on buy now, it will bring you to this point where you simply also click on enroll now. All right, and once you click on enroll now, it's now showing you the classes that are starting. Okay, the next one that is available is starting by November 8th. So what you have to do at this very moment is now to choose whether you want to pay in full or if you want to pay installments. So you have the option to pay one-off, you have the option to pay in 2 installments, you have the option to pay in 3 installments, in 4 installments, or in 5 installments. So for this explanation, let me use the 5 installments option. So when you click on this 5 installments option, all you have to now do is simply click on apply discount. So once you do it, you're going to see that discount applied, okay? That your discount has been applied. So if you scroll down now, you are simply going to notice that everything that you have here now is showing you that you can pay $150 now, $150 November 4th, $150 December 4th, $150 January 3, and also $150 February 2nd. As simple as that. Okay, as simple as that. I don't know if we all got what I was saying. Okay, $150, $150, $150, $150. Let me quickly explain it again so that we are all following exactly what I'm doing now. Let me simply explain it again. Once you click on that link, please, can you do it again? Johnson, yeah, I'm about to do it again. Once you click on that link that my colleagues are dropping in, all you have to do is click on, you are going to land in the courses immediately, right? So select the program you want to go for. For me, I want to go for data analytics. I'll click on data analytics, right? And once I get into it, I'll simply click on enroll now, right? Once I click on enroll now, I'm now going to also now select the program I want to go for. All right, I'll now select the program I want to go for, which is not the program, the date, which is November 8th. All right, and simply select the instrumental option I want to make. Once I click on it, I can now click on apply discount. Once you do that, it's going to apply your discount and bring you right into this spot. Okay, once you do it, it's going to click on it and bring you right into this spot. So you can now simply scroll down, confirm that the breakdown is the way you want it to be, okay? Confirm that it is the way you want it to be, and then move on. think something is up here. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. All right. Let me log in again. All right, let me log in demo account. So once you get into it, simply go to courses, scroll down, select the one you want to go for, and then select that you want to enroll now, and then move on. Okay, so and then once you've done this, now the pricing you are seeing here is fully on the country that you're joining from. So if you're joining from UK, you are going to be seeing the price in, yeah, you should create an account before joining. Yeah, Fifi, Albin, you should create an account. You should be able to create accounts. For some reason, I don't know why I'm not getting the option to create an account, and that's what I wanted to explain. So you should get the option to create an account. So let me also demonstrate it right here again. So you should get the option to create an account. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you right here. And then all you have to now do is to select your course, which is data analytics. And then after you've selected it, click on enroll now and simply fill in your account name, all right? Fill in your details for creating that account. So for me, let me fill in this one, Jack Jones. All right, once you fill it, you put your email address that you want to also create it with, your phone number, and simply agree to this and create the account. Once you are done creating the account, you're going to get an email for it to also validate that account with. Okay, you're going to get an email. And once you are in, you'll simply be on this page that I am right now. So once you're on this exact page, you've applied the discount, you've selected the option that you want to go for, apply discount, and that is going on. Can now easily now make your payment with your card. So as simple as that, let me scroll down. Of course, it is important for you to go through the terms and conditions and simply click on pay now. So once you do that, you are in, all right? You are going to be asked to make your payment, and I'm going to make my payments right here. Remember, you will need to create an account. So it's important that you understand that you will need to create an account. So let me make payments as well, so that we also see how it functions. So let me try and make payments. Okay, 40. All right, so once I'm done making payments, I can now get access to my page. All right, and then simply pay. So once I pay, you're going to see that success immediately appearing for you in your own page, showing that it is already successful. What are people in Nigeria? So if you're joining from Nigeria as well, you are going to be seeing the amount in NGN. Vivian, is this discounted amount of selling the final price? Are there any hidden fees? I'm truly excited. Okay, yeah, Vivian, that is the final amount, okay? It is the final amount. Now, the only amount that you might incur depends on the laptop that you're using. If you're using HP, most of the softwares is entirely free. But if you're using a MacBook, there's tendency that for you to even install Power BI, you need to buy it. Okay, so these are explanations I love to make to people. So every other software you need for the program, if you're using a HP, not a HP, but if you're using a Windows system, it's going to be free. But if you're using a MacBook, there are tendencies that are going to buy some of those softwares. I hope that answers your question, Vivian. So once you are done making your payments, it's going to bring you to this point where you need to go to your dashboard. So right here, I'm now in my dashboard, and it's now asking me to verify my email. So you simply go back to your email again, and then you will see the account that was, that email alert that you also got. Right, simply go back to your email, pick that code that you got in your email address, and put it right there. Once you fill that code, you have access to the dashboard as fast as possible. I hope that explains the entire process to everyone. So once you do that, you have access to the dashboard as easy as that. So let me try and get my own code and be able to fill my own details. Okay. Oh, something is off, something is off. Okay. Just 1 minute. Let me try this again. Let me try. Can data science give you employment opportunities too, Donald? Of course, Donald, if you joined early, you notice that the only courses that we offer are the ones that have high demand, the only career path that are in demand. So if you're going for a career path that is not in demand, we are not even offering it at all. So for all the courses that we offer here, they all have demand fully. I hope that answers your question. All right. So once you're able to complete the payment, get your code from your email address and fill it right here, simply verify your email and you have access to the dashboard immediately. So this is as simple as it can be. So I can see a couple of questions already popping up. So at this point, if you have any question, please feel free to use the raise hand icon or just ask your question now and I'll pick it up from there and answer it as fast as possible. What is the amount for Talent Loop and Amdari internship? Godwin, this is not a place for the conversation, but what I would advise you to do is just fill the attendance form and we are going to take it up from there and have a personal conversation with you as well. What if I enroll in Nigeria and move to the UK 2 months after? What if I enroll in Nigeria and move to the UK 2 months after? Okay, so that is not a problem. Okay, remember you are paying with a card that is already existing. So that is where it is also going to be charged. Now, if you want to make change of card, you also have the option to say, okay, I want to remove this NGN card and start paying with my pounds card. That is fully applicable for you. I hope that makes sense to you. Vivian, I hope you've been able to get the assistance that you need. Okay, I hope you've been able to get the assistance that you need. What I get after clicking on Erona is to create account. Yes, Johnson, that is it. You need to create the account. Johnson, please communicate to me that you've been successful. And Fufin, should we create accounts? Yes, you should create accounts. Okay, I think that's it. Is there a tendency of getting a job before the end of the course, Oluwa? Good question. Now, the truth is that some people get jobs 1 month into the program. Some get 2 months, some get 3 months. Some even get 3 months after the program. So it's all dependent on how often you are also applying. So at that level, it is now a battle of numbers. It's a numbers game at that level. So if you're able to apply a lot, you can actually be able to land that job. All right. And the most important thing is that when you even land a job interview, we're also fully here to assist, prepare you for any single interview that you are going for. I hope that makes sense to you, Oluwa. Is the 2 months remote internship as effective as physical one, Donald? Yes, it's as effective as physical one. I have people that work in tech that have never been into any office at all. Everything they've been doing is fully remote. So every single thing that we also do is a remote opportunity, all right? And it's a skill that people also need to know or learn. There are individuals that cannot actually work remotely, all right? And if you're looking to be able to land foreign gigs and things like that, then you need to also learn how do you get into these places remote-wise, okay? Now, Amachi, will the course run every Saturday for the next 5 months starting November? Yes, Amachi. So every Saturday you have a class. Every Saturday you have a class. Now, there are tendencies for you to miss a class. And that's the reason why every session is recorded. That even if you miss a class, it is always recorded. Okay, for you to go back and watch the recorded version. And then remember, we have drop-in sessions that happen maybe during the week or even on some Saturdays. Before you go to your next class, we'll have a drop-in session where we have like a revision. And while you are practicing, if you have any challenge, you're also free to drop those questions in the group chat and someone is going to be there to handhold you. All right. So the importance of this is that you have someone that can always call on, oh, I'm trying to do my sum if and it's not working. Somebody will be there to solve that challenge for you, Amarachi. Okay. Let me check. What gives you a faster chance to land a role between data analytics and product management? Fantastic question, Godwin. Now, Godwin, this is broad. One is that it's dependent on the transferable skills that you have. Now, if you have transferable skills into data, it means that you can claim that you've been existing in data for a couple of months before now. If you have transferable skill into project management, you can also claim those years of experience into it and now learn the skill. Now, those experiences now going to be a padded experience for you. So it simply means I can now be able to say, oh, I've actually been in this space for like 2 years now. But remember, you are simply just learning it now. But because of that transferable skill that you have, can easily point to that direction. So it's better for you to transition from a place where you have transferable skill. That is the easiest way for you to land a job. I hope that makes sense to you, Martin. So Martin successfully created. Now you need to go to the next step, which is to secure your spot buy, and it's making one instrumental payment. All right. So if you look at my screen, the 25% discount is not forever. It starts from today and ends by next week, Friday. Okay. So from October 4th to October 10th. And once that October 10th is over, the discount of 25% is over. It moves to 20%. Okay, and once October 24th is also over, we move to 15%. And there is also a catch here. For each of these segments, once 20 people pay, the price moves to this. So right now, the numbers are already getting to 20, people are already securing their spots. And once that 20 spots are filled, the price diverts back to this, which means you're not going to pay 800, 160, 160, 160, 160. So you need to be able to secure your spots as fast as possible and not even wait for the date itself. Because before that date, those 20 spots are mostly filled. I hope that answers your question. Please, can you send the link to have a conversation with a coach? Someone is going to send it to you iPhone. Does November batch have discount payment deadline? Donald? Yes, Donald, that's what I just said right now. Is it too much remote internship as effective? Okay, fantastic, yes. With the question answered, let's assume that I pay and subscribe for a course and maybe I need to switch. I need to pay again. No, Olua. So if you secure your spots now, you have the option to switch within a month. Now, after a month, for you to now switch, there has to be a switching fee. Now, the reason for it is that because within that a month, we've walked you through maybe Excel, walked you through elements of Power BI. So it's not more advisable for you to now say, oh, we want to switch again to another place. So if you now want to switch at that level, there will now be a payment option, but you have the free option to switch within a month. Okay, if you register now, you have the free option to switch within a month. Johnson, I'm seeing $1,000. Yeah, Johnson, once you click on it, you're now going to see the apply discount will now come up for you. And once that discount is applied, it will now go down to $750. I hope that makes sense to you, Johnson. I created my account, but I cannot see the discount. Johnson, just continue. You'll see it appear for you. Success said I should not threaten. No, Success is not a threat. Let me be honest with you, Success. When I transitioned to GRC, that should be as at 20, that should be around 2018. When I transitioned with just 35K. When I transitioned to data, that should be maybe around 2020. I was transitioning with around 300,000 in Naira. Now, that should show you how all these things are always increasing. So when I mention it like this, it's not from a place of threat. It's from a place of what's obtainable in the economy most times. Okay, Edith mentioned I'm leaning towards financial and business analysis. The jobs I'm seeing has financial modeling, business cases, and analysis of the combo, but I'm not sure the right path. So if you are seeing financial modeling there, then that means you need to tilt towards financial analysis, because as a business analyst, you are not learning financial model. So if that is what you are seeing, it means that you have a background either in economics, financials, or things that play within the banking space. So you need to go towards financial analytics edits. I hope that makes sense to you. Can someone decide to join the October batch since it started today? No. So the October batch is already locked, right? So the October batch is already locked because these are ways where people miss out on one or two things. It's already locked. For a biomedical scientist currently in UK, which do you advise for him to transition to between data analytics and data science? Donald, the information may not be sufficient for me because I need to, listen to you, understand if you are tilting towards coding, running away from coding, understand your affinity to mathematics before we can make a decision. So Donald, what I would advise you to do is secure your spots and then make sure you book a one-on-one conversation that after that conversation, even if it changes, you can now change it from the back end for you. I hope that makes sense for you. Amarachi is asking, I'm new to tech, hope data analysis course is beginner friendly. Amarachi, yes, 100%. In fact, it is always the best way to transition into the tech environment. So let me see if there are any hand raised. So there is no hand raised. That means nobody wants to ask a question. Okay. I'm in card, but it's showing 1,102 USD. Fantastic. Now, remember what I said, Johnson. You are going to be seeing it in your own currency. So if you're in Canada, it means you are seeing it in CAD. You are seeing it in Canadian US. You are in Canadian dollars, rather. So if I'm US, I'm seeing it in USD. If someone is in Nigeria, they're seeing it in NGN. Someone is in UK, they're seeing it in pounds. So it picks your geolocation and gives you the currency of where you are. So Johnson, what you're most likely seeing is in Canadian dollars. I hope that makes sense to you, Johnson. As a nurse, do you think it's okay to transition to cybersecurity, Priska? Fantastic question. The truth is, as a nurse, it depends on the initial experiences that you've had before now. So if you've had a possible transferable skill to cybersecurity, then it is going to be easy for you. But if you don't have transferable skill into it, then it will not be easy. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get into it, right? It doesn't mean that you shouldn't get into it. The only thing there is that it's going to take a longer time. It's not giving me 150 card. Johnson is not giving you 150 card. Johnson, like I said, you're not going to see 150 card. You're going to see equivalent of 150 in Canadian dollars, all right? Which is that 220, all right? US dollars, everything we've been saying right now is in US dollars, all right? And US dollars is, stronger than Canadian dollars. So that is why you are seeing it in 220 because you're in Canada. So you are seeing it in Canadian dollar equivalents. All right, someone in US will be seeing that 150. Someone in Canada will see it as 220. Someone in UK will be seeing it as the pounds equivalent as well. Someone in Nigeria will see it as 1.280 or thereabouts. So it's giving you the currency of your own location. I hope that answers your question, Johnson. All right, Johnson Adeyemi, I'm also going to note your name down so that after this session, I'll be sure that your challenges are fully solved as well. Okay, how can I rewatch the whole session as I have been watching it between? Okay, Emmanuel, make sure you fill the attendance form so that after this one, we're going to share the recorded version with you and also the slide we're also going to share with you. Can you link me with a medical person that has made this transition for a one-on-one testimony? Fantastic question, Juliet. So what we always try to do is, because people want their protections as well. So everyone that you've seen on our slide are people that agreed for them to actually appear here. So what I advise you do, Juliet, is to, when you get the slide, click on those links, you see their name, can I reach out to them on LinkedIn and have conversations with them? Okay, so the reason why we do this is because, if someone just calls you for now and say, Juliet, hi, I'm from Tenality, I'm seeing that you're attending Tenality and I want to do this and do that, you may not find it funny. So there's also an element of protection that we have to give to these guys. So first is when you get the slide, look out for them on LinkedIn, engage them on LinkedIn. I'm sure they're going to be very, very friendly with regards to that. And better still, within the course of this month, before this month is over, we should have a testimonial sharing session where some of these alumni come to sessions like this and also share their own experiences. All right. So, but that might still be virtual to you, which is why I said when you get the slide, look for the person that you want to speak to. Watch their own recording, get their full name, and then search for them on LinkedIn and connect with them. I hope that answers your question. So which area would you think is okay for me to transition? Priska, it may not be easy for me to understand right now, but easily for people transitioning into tech fresh, data analytics may give you that soft landing that you're looking for. All right, Priska. So Priska, what I advise you to do is book a one-on-one clarity session, and we're going to have conversation to find the career path that is suitable for you fully. All right, book a one-on-one session, okay? Mitchell said that she joined but not received any slide. Mitchell, please check your spam or junk folder. Sometimes it enters there, okay? Check your spam or junk folder, and please ensure that you fill the attendance form, right? It's the attendance form that we are using to send the slide. So if you don't fill the attendance form, we may not be able to have access to be able to send you the details. I hope that answers your question, Mitchell. All right, fantastic. Like I said earlier, the discount is just for the first 20 people. So it's important for us to be able to take advantage of it and break into it as fast as possible. And for everybody that is going to take advantage in the next 24 hours, from now till roughly 3 hours from now, there's a second bonus for you, which is you have access to Amdari Vault. Now, this is a vault of several projects, over 250 guided projects that you can work on to build up your project to build up your portfolio as well. So you're working on projects from the financial sector, you're working on the one from supply chain, you're working on the one from aviation, from several sectors of the economy. But for you to be able to get that, you need to be able to secure your spot within the next 24 hours. So this is a second level of bonus for people that take action within the next 24 hours. But remember, this discount is just for the first 20 people within each sales group. So I always advise people to take advantage of these conversations anytime they come across it, because the truth is that even right now, the spots are already being taken. Okay, personally we also get into programs to improve ourselves. Last year, we got into the Our Better Capitalizer program with one aim. How do we help more people to break into the tech sector? This year, we got into the Dohe program, which is also how do we improve and optimize our processes to help people more. So you can see that from our own side, we're also improving to better service the people. And when you're done with our own program, you're also going to be getting a certificate that is fully accredited by the ACTD. That's American Council of Training and Development, which means you are going back with both the skill, both the experience, and the certification as well. So you're getting this certificate to validate that you've had this training with us. So all these things are what we've packaged, and we are here to also provide to you. I hope we've been able to gain something within the last 2 hours that I've been speaking. And there are a lot of success stories here. Okay, I think someone was asking for people to speak to. If you go through this slide, you're going to see a lot of people. Abigail used to be a care worker in Canada. Right now, she's a business analyst in Canada. You can see Abisola used to be she was in tech already, but she transitioned to becoming a machine learning engineer as well. You can see Oluwafikayo, she also transitioned from finance and accounting into data science. And she's currently working as a business solutions analyst in Canada as well. So there are a lot of success stories that we have on this slide, okay? A lot of them, more than close to 500 success stories. So we may not be able to touch every single one of them. So what I advise you to do is get the slide, look for the person that you relate with, and listen to how their own experience was as well. I think people are still dropping questions. What of someone that does not have any experience? Can they do this as an entrepreneur? Michaela, fantastic. Yes, you can. Most people that transition into tech came in here with zero experience. So me that I'm speaking to you now, I studied civil engineering. I worked in the bank before I now transitioned to tech. So it's not like we studied computer science or information security and so on and so forth. We studied different courses and we transitioned into tech. So if we are able to do it, from Michaela, you should as well be able to do it. Okay, what of someone that does not have any experience? Of course, you should be able to do it. Thanks so much for the word. Okay, thank you, Martins. And thank you so much to everyone for listening to me for the last 2 hours, 15 minutes. It's not easy. Like I said, every single thing that we have on this slide, they are all success stories of people that have been able to make this move before you. So if you joined us when we started early, there's one single phrase that we started with, and that is that it is possible. All right, it is possible. And if you are looking to break into tech come 2026, the best time to get into it is now. Because by 2026, you are 3 months deep into it. And companies always start hiring a lot because that's the beginning of most people's fiscal year. So once you're able to get into the program now, learn within November, learn December. By January, when people are now starting to say, okay, my New Year resolution is to break into tech, you are already in tech. I can easily be able to take advantage of all the jobs that's going to come up as are there. I hope this inspires you to make a decision as at today. I can't wait to see each and every one of you come November 8th in any of our programs. On behalf of our founder, Adeza Suleiman, co-founder of Femina Upro, I say a very big thank you to every one of you for joining this session and listening to us for the last 2 hours, 20 minutes. I can't wait to see you come November 8th. Remember, the best time to break into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now. I still remain your guy, Chukwuemeka Ekpa. Bye, everyone.